Record started. Okay, welcome back children. Now we are reading the lesson, The Portrait of a Lady, written by Kushman Singh. So first stanza we have understood. There we have seen that this author's grandmother, she is an old wrinkled lady. She has remained in such a state since 20 years. For 20 long years she has remained in the same type of physique. Okay. Then we have also understood about grandfather of the author. His photograph was hung above the mantelpiece there. How he looked, what type of clothing did he wear, that is explained in the first stanza. Now in the second stanza, the author is telling again, he is explaining about the physique and what his grandmother used to do in this second stanza. He has told that his grandmother was an old wrinkled lady. On her face means crisscross of wrinkles. This crisscross of wrinkles, they were running from, means in each and every corner of the face wrinkles could be seen. That is explained. And she was a short, little bit fat lady, and she had bent. Okay, she had a stoop also on her back, and always she used to keep one hand on her waist, and in another hand she had got a rosary. Always she used to pray. Her lips were moving always, but she was inaudible. Means what prayer she was telling, no, that was not audible to others. Okay. Now he has also added that she was a very pretty woman. He is not ready to accept that she was a pretty woman, because he had seen her since 20 years in that state. That's why he is unable to agree that she was pretty. Pretty, I have told you the meaning, children. Pretty means beautiful outside. Okay, means face cut and body. That is called pretty. From outside, being beautiful, it is called pretty. So if anybody is beautiful or good from heart, that is called what? Beautiful. So he's saying that his grandmother was a beautiful lady, even though she may not be pretty. Then she used to hobble around the house. ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಓಡಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇರ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅವರು. Hobble means what? Walk in an awkward way because of pain. Awkward ಆಗಿ ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ she could not balance her. ಹೌದಾ? So that's why she used to hobble. She used to walk in an awkward way around the house. Always she used to wear white clothing, spotless white. He has explained, no? Spotless white means what? Very white, and very clean anta artha. Now, again, let me have that page on the screen. Yes. Yes. Here, observe children. Next, previous page maybe. See here children, I have underlined. She hobbled about the house in spotless white with one hand resting on her waist to balance her stool, and the other telling the beads of her rosary. Her silver locks were scattered untidily over her pale, puckered face. Here, puckered means, again I have written it on the board. Puckered means what, children? Tightly gathered or contracted into wrinkles or small folds. That is called puckered. Andre avಳ ಮುಖ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ನೆರಿಗೆ ನೆರಿಗೆ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. She was an old lady, no? So pale puckered face and lips constantly moved in inaudible prayer. Yes, she was beautiful. She was like the landscape in the mountains. See, he's using the figure of speech simile here, right? So he's comparing his grandmother to what? That let us see. She was like the landscape in the mountains, an expanse of pure white serenity, breathing peace and contentment. Okay, so Now in the mountains means rigid areas. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೊತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಏಕದಮ್ ಸ್ಟೀಪ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಪೀಕ್ ಸ್ಟೀಪ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ, ಹೌದಾ? ಆ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೌಂಟೇನ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ರಿಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್? ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ವರ್ಕ್, ಹೌದಾ? ಕಷ್ಟಪಡ್ಬೇಕು ಮೌಂಟೇನ್ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವಿದ್ರೆ. ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ಕೇಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ರೀಜನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಸಿ. ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ರೀಜನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಸಿ ಟು ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟ್ ದ ರೋಡ್ಸ್. It is easy to practice agriculture. It is easy to establish industries. Urbanization is easy in the plain region. But what about mountains? Mountains andre everything will be very hard in this mountains region, no? So now he is telling, he is comparing his grandmother to the landscape. See, he is telling, yes, she was beautiful. She was like the landscape in the mountains, an expanse of white, pure white serenity. Serenity means what, children? Again, I have written the meaning here. The state of being calm, peaceful, and untroubled. In the mountain region, it will be always troublesome. Kashta alvalli. Adre landscape alli kashta illa. So his grandmother was like that. She was peaceful, she was calm, she always found to be untroubled. ಅಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದ್ರು ಕೂಡ she was old, she could not balance her body, okay, she had to hobble, ಹೌದಾ? So even though she looked very peaceful, untroubled, like the landscape in between the mountains. So complete pure serenity was found in her. Is also explaining breathing peace and contentment. Contentment means, children, satisfaction. What is the meaning of contentment? Satisfaction. Again, I have written it here on the board. Contentment means a state of happiness and satisfaction. A state of happiness and satisfaction. So she was that type of lady. She was very peaceful, calm, and she was content. ಆರಾಮಾಗಿದ್ರು, ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರಲ್ಲೇ ಅವರು ಸಮಾಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಹೆಂಗಸಾಗಿದ್ರು. So that is explained here. And also, children, observe one more sentence here. See, her silver locks were scattered untidily over her pale puckered face. And up to here, her silver locks were scattered untidily over her pale puckered face. What are these silver locks? What is the figure of speech used here? Can anybody guess? Can anybody understand and tell me? Her silver locks scattered on her pale puckered face. What is that? Silver locks. What do these silver locks mean here? Stop sharing. Can anybody tell me? Yeah, I have a girl. Yeah. Who is that? Yeah, I have Abhiram. Yes, Abhiram.
Yes,
What is the meaning of silver locks here?
Lips.
Lips, no, it can't be lips. Once again you read silver. What is the color of silver? You imagine. I will repeat the sentence once again for you. Her silver locks scattered on her pale puckered face. Yes. Dhanya.
White hairs.
What, Marie? White hairs, exactly. Vaishnavi Arigde, what's your answer, Marie?
Mataji, same answer, white hairs.
Exactly. She was an old lady, right? So her white hairs always scattered on her pale puckered face. What is the figure of speech used here? Can anybody tell me? Figure of speech is used here, no? Can anybody tell me? Yes, Vaishnavi and Dhanyal. Once you have understood, once you have identified what is that silver locks, you should be able to answer this one. You know which are the three important figures of speech already you have learned. One is simile, one is metaphor, another one is personification. So this is metaphor. See, there is a direct comparison. Her white hair is called what, children? Your silver locks. Her white hair. Instead of saying her white hair, directly the author has called it your silver locks. That's why author has used two figures of speech in this paragraph. One is metaphor and another one is simile. She looked like a landscape. Hoda? So I hope you have understood metaphor. So her white hairs were silver locks anta ಹೇಳೋದ್ರ ಬದಲಿಗೆ direct silver lock anta ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Do you have any doubt here, children? Do you have any doubt? Metaphor use ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳ ನಾನು. Okay, then shall we go for the next paragraph? Yes, share the next paragraph. Yes. Now let me read out the paragraph for you. See here, my grandmother and I were good friends. My grandmother and I were good friends. My parents left me with her when they went to live in the city and we were constantly together. She used to wake me up in the morning and get me ready for school. She said her morning prayer in a monotonous sing-song while she bathed and dressed me in the hope that I would listen and get to know it by heart. I listened because I loved her voice but never bothered to learn it. Then she would fetch my wooden slate which she had already washed and plastered with yellow chalk, a tiny earthen ink pot and a red pen, tie them all in a bundle and hand it to me. After a breakfast of thick stale chapati with a little butter and sugar spread on it, we went to school. She carried several stale chapatis with her for the village dogs. Okay. Bathe. Yeah. Stop sharing. So now in this paragraph, this author is giving explanation about the routine of himself with his grandmother. So he is telling that his grandmother and himself were very good friends. Always they used to be together. So when he was a young boy, small boy, his parents went to live in city, maybe in search of job. So when they went to city, while they were going to city, what did they do? They left this author with his grandmother. Now author and grandmother are living in the village. So what was their daily routine? That is told in this paragraph. So every day his grandmother used to wake him up in the morning. ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಅವರನ್ನ ಎಬ್ಬಿಸ್ತಿದ್ರು, and she used to bathe him. See here, children, bathe, B-A-T-H-E. What is this bathe? It is the verb form of bath. Okay, bath is noun, bathe is verb. B-A-T-H-E. How we have to pronounce it? Bathe. It is the verb form. Every day we have to take bath. Okay. Now bath is used as a noun in this sentence. Every day we have to take bath. Snana. Okay. Now every day we should bathe. Now snana madbeku. Bathe. Got the difference between bath and bathe? No. Bath is noun. Bathe is verb. So now every day she used to wake him up in the morning and she used to bathe him. Avನಿಗೆ ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತಿದ್ರು. While bathing him and while doing other works, she used to say the prayers in a monotonous sing song. So monotonous means what? ಒಂದೇ ರೀತಿ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಹೇಳುವಂತ ಪ್ರೇಯರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ರಿ, ಬುಡದಿಂದ ತುದಿ ತನಕ ಒಂದೇ ದಾಟಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಗಣಪತಿ ಉಪನಿಷತ್ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿ ನೋಡಿ. ಸೊ ಮೋನೋಟೋನಸ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಸಾಂಗ್, ಬುಡದಿಂದ ತುದಿ ತನಕ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೋನ್. ಏರ್ಸೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇಳಿಸೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದೇ ಹದದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್? monotonous. So every day she used to tell the prayers in a monotonous sing song, and she used to tell it loudly because she wanted her grandson to listen it and learn it by heart. ತನ್ನ ಮೊಮ್ಮಗನು ತಾನು ಹೇಳುವಂತ ಪ್ರೇಯರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿ ಬೈ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ ಆಸೆ ಅವಳಿಗೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಈ ಮೊಮ್ಮಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಲಿಸನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳುವಂತಹ ಪ್ರೇಯರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಹಿ ನೆವರ್ ಬಾದರ್ ಟು ಬೈ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್. He used to listen to her because he loved her voice. ಅವ್ರ ಅಜ್ಜಿಯ ಧ್ವನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ಆದ್ರೆ he never bothered to by heart it. Okay, then after getting bath, what they used to do, his grandmother used to prepare him breakfast. What was there in their breakfast? It was chapati. She used to prepare chapati for him every day. And what type of chapati was that? It was thick, ದಪ್ಪ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು ಚಪಾತಿ, ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕತ್ತು ಹೋಗಿರುವಂತದ್ದು, ಸುಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗಿನ ರೀತಿಯ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಒಲೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಇರ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಆ ಕಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಒಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು ಬೇಯಿಸ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವಳು ಮುದುಕಿ ಬೇರೆ ಆಗಿದ್ರು, ಹೌದಾ, ಏಜ್ಡ್ ವಿಮೆನ್ ಶಿ ವಾಸ್. ಸುಟ್ಟು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ದಪ್ಪ ಚಪಾತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಅಂಡ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಚಪಾತಿ ಶಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಲಿಟಲ್ ಬಟರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಿಟಲ್ ಶುಗರ್. ಸಕ್ಕರೆ ಹಾಕಿ ಬೆಣ್ಣೆ ಹಾಕಿ ಬೇಯಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಆದ್ರೆ ಪಾಪ ಚಪಾತಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಚೂರು ಕತ್ತು ಹೋಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಶಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಚಪಾತಿ ಫಾರ್ ಹಿಮ್. ಇಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಲಿಟಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕತ್ತು ಹೋಗಿರ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಆನ್ ದ ಚಪಾತಿ ಶಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್? ಬಟರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಶುಗರ್, ಲಿಟಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ಶಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಡೂ? ಶಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ರೆಡಿ ಹಿಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್. ಶಾಲೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಮೊಮ್ಮಗನಿಗೆ, ಪಾಟಿ ಚೀಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕಿ ಕೊಡೋಳು ಅಜ್ಜಿ. ಅವನ ಪಾಟಿಯನ್ನ ಒರೆಸಿಡೋಳು, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಚಾಕ್ ಪೀಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಡ್ಡಿ ಇರ್ತದಲ್ವಾ, ಆ ಬಳಪವನ್ನ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಿರೋಳು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಇಂಕ್ ಪಾಟ್ ಹಾಕೊಡೋಳು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಕ್ ಪೆನ್. ಈಗಿನ ಬಾಲ್ ಪೆನ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಂಕ್ ಪೆನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಅರ್ಧನ್ ಇಂಕ್ ಪಾಟ್, ಓಕೆ, ಮಣ್ಣಿನಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಇಂಕ್ ಪಾಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋಳು. ಅಂಡ್ ಶಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಹಿಮ್ ಅ ರೆಡ್ ಪೆನ್. So in this way she used to ready him for the school. Then while taking him to the school, she used to take some pieces of that stale chapati which she had prepared for herself and her grandson. She used to take it to give it to whom? The village dogs. In this way their routine used to take place. Okay, so first of all he used to live with his grandmother because his parents had gone to Medini, city in search of job. Houda? Then every day his grandmother used to wake him up early in the morning. She used to bathe him. Okay, while giving bath to him, she used to say the prayers loudly in a monotonous voice. She wanted him to learn it by heart. He never bothered to learn it, but he used to listen to her because he loved her voice. Okay, then after bathing him she used to prepare breakfast. ಚಪಾತಿ ಹೇಳಾಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಪಾಟಿ ಚೀಲ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕಿ ಪಾಪ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ they used to carry some pieces of stale chapati for village dogs. Okay, now got the difference between bath and bathe, no children? Noun and verb. Now let us go to the next paragraph. See, last paragraph for today, children. Okay, so my grandmother always went to school with me because the school was attached to the temple. The priest taught us the alphabet and the morning prayer. While the children sat in rows on either side of the veranda singing the alphabet or the prayer in a chorus, my grandmother sat inside reading the scriptures. When we had both finished, we would walk back together. This time the village dogs would meet us at the temple door. They followed us to our home, growling and fighting with each other for the chapatis we threw to them. Growling, see the word there, growling, children, and fighting. Growling and fighting. Yes, stop, children. So now next, after getting him ready for the school, after eating their breakfast, both of them used to go to the school. Every day, she joined him to go to the school. Why did she accompany him to the school? ಯಾಕೆ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಅವನ ಆಥರ್ ಜೊತೆ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮದರು ಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದ್ರು? ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಡ್ ಟು ದ ಟೆಂಪಲ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಅವ್ರ ಶಾಲೆ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. Who was their teacher? It was the priest of the temple. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? ಟೀಚರ್ ಯಾರಾಗಿದ್ರು? priest of the temple. ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನದ ಭಟ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಟೀಚರ್. And these children of the village, they used to sit in rows, 2 rows on the veranda of the temple. Temple in a veranda ದಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋರು. The priest used to teach them alphabets and morning prayers. Okay, so while these children, they were singing alphabets, so anta when they were singing alphabets or morning prayers, this grandmother, she used to sit inside the temple reading the scriptures. Scriptures ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಮಂತ್ರಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಬರೆದಿರುವಂತಹ ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ವಾ, they are called scriptures. So in the temple she used to read the scripture. Then after both of them have finished, when the author has finished his school and when the grandmother has finished her reading scriptures, no, they used to come back together. Now while coming back, who else accompanied them? They were the village dogs. ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಮೊಮ್ಮಗ ಇಬ್ರೇ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದ್ರಾ? ಬರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ವಾಪಸ್ಸು they also got the company of whom? The village dogs. They used to growl, ಗುರುಗುರುಕೊಂಡು ಫೈಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಿದ್ವು ಅವ್ರ ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆನೆ, because they used to throw what? Chapatis, pieces of stale chapatis they took, no, ಅದನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಅವರು ಅದನ್ನ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ತಿದ್ರು ನಾಯಿಗೆ. So that's why they used to follow them till their home, growling and fighting. So this is what the routine of grandmother and grandson. So far, did you understand? Who will tell me the difference between? Did you understand, children? Yes or no? Raise your hands and tell. Did you understand or not? Only 2 students understood. 3. Okay. Thank you very much. Now I will ask you few questions. Be ready, children. We'll ask you few questions. Yes. What is the difference between bath and bathe? Bath and bathe. Difference between bath and bathe. Yes, Aryan.
Bath is a noun and bathe is a verb.
Yes, that is the difference between bath and bathe. Next question. Why did the grandson why did our author live with his grandmother in his childhood? Medini?
Because his parents go to city for searching their jobs.
Exactly. Okay. Then, Anudeep, why did the author live with his grandmother in the childhood?
Because his parents went to city for searching their job.
Maybe in search of job. Correct. Okay.
Job.
Very nice. What type of relationship the author had with his grandmother in his childhood? What type of relationship was there in between them? Sushrita?
Yes, Mataji.
What type of relationship they had? They were like teacher and student. Am I right? Were they like teacher and student? Sushrita, were they?
No, Mataji.
Who were they? Were they like grandmother and grandson?
Grandmother and grandson.
Okay, but how was their relationship? It was like, it was like Kritika. They were like? Yes, they were like? Medini has told me the answer already. Chaya? Okay, I'll give the chance to Dhanya.
Good friends.
Exactly, they were like friends, no? Yes, they were like friends. Then how was their routine? How was their routine? Who will explain me the routine of grandmother and this author, our Khushwant Singh? Who will tell me, who will explain their routine? Very easy, no? Only Vaishnavi are and Purnachandra, can you do it for me? Only Dhanya, Bhumika will do. Bhumika.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, explain me the routine.
The author's grandmother always went to school with him.
But start from the
The
morning.
school was attached to the temple.
Exactly. Then start from the beginning.
And the priest was their teacher.
Yeah. You explain from the morning. Since the morning you can tell, no, some activities they used to do, no. What was that, Marie? What were they? Bhumika. Once they got up, what the grandmother used to do early in the morning, she used to wake up her grandson, right? Yes. From here, who will continue the answer? Ambika, will you do? Ambika, are you there, Marie? Yes, Ambika? Yes or no, Ambika? Did she message anything? Then, Rachita? Rachita, can you answer? Who is? Rachita, can you answer, Marie? Then, if Rachita is unable to speak, yes, Diksha?
Yes, Mataji.
Can you tell me the answer?
Yes, Mataji.
Tell me the answer. Yes. What was their routine?
She used to wake up him in the morning
Mhm.
and she used to bathe him every day.
Very good. Then,
She was saying, she used to say the prayer in a
monotonous.
monotonous,
Six.
monotonous
Monotonous.
voice.
Yes. Then, she used to prepare what for the author?
She used to prepare some chapatis which are thick and stale.
Stale and thick, which were thick and stale. And also she used to spread dalwa.
She used to spread butter and sugar on it.
Then she used to prepare the school bag of the author. She used to wash his slate party, and she used to give him a chalk. Then also she used to give him earthen ink pot. And also she used to give him a red pen. Then together they used to go to the school. The school and temple were attached. So these were all the routine of the grandmother and the grandson. Now, tomorrow I will ask you one question. Today only you have to learn. Explain the physical features of grandmother. That is your second paragraph. Read it and be ready for that. Okay. Then now last question for today, children. Last one. Here question ಕೇಳೋಣ. What type of article is it? What type of article is it? Yes, it is an extract of. Yes, who is there? Sushrita.
Autobiography.
It is an extract from the autobiography of the author. Yes. Now, next question. Can you tell me the figures of speech used in this lesson? Figures of speech used in this lesson. Which are the two figures of speech used in this lesson? Pranam,
Simile and metaphor.
simile and metaphor. Can you read out the sentence simile, where simile is used?
Yes, Mataji.
Read out that sentence for me.
The metaphor is her silver locks were scattered entirely over her pale.
Pale, puckered face. ಪೇಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂಥರ ವೈಟ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತದ್ದು, ರಕ್ತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿ ಒಂಥರ ಕಲರ್ ಬರ್ತದಲ್ವಾ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಪೇಲ್. ತಿಳಿ ಆಗಿರುವಂತದ್ದು, ಪೇಲ್ ಪಕ್ಕಡ್ ಫೇಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೆಟಾಫರ್. ದೆನ್ ಹೂ ವಿಲ್ ರೀಡ್ ಔಟ್ ದ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಇನ್ ಸಿಮಿಲಿ, ವೇರ್ ಸಿಮಿಲಿ ಇಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್? ಎಸ್, ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್. ಅಭಿರಾಮ್. Abhiram,
Yes, Mataji.
read the sentence which is there in simile. Not ready. Dhanya.
She was like the landscape in the mountains, an expanse of pure white serenity, breathing peace and contentment.
Exactly. Okay, that is simile. Now, see the difficult words in this part. One is absurd. Absurd means, children, illogical, inappropriate. Then next comes puckered. Puckered means tightly gathered or contracted into wrinkles or small folds. Wrinkles or small folds. Then comes, children, serenity. Okay, serenity means what? The state of being calm, peaceful and untroubled. That is called what, children? Serenity. See, the state of being calm, peaceful and untroubled. That is your serenity. Then contentment. Contentment means the same. A state of happiness and satisfaction. Contentment and serenity almost they give the same meaning. Then next one is hobble. It is word. This serenity is noun. Contentment is also noun. Then puckered. Here it is used as an adjective. Puckered. Absurd is also adjective. Now hobble means what, children? Walk in an awkward way because of pain. Can you see it? Walk in an awkward way because of pain. That is called your hobble. Okay. So read the lesson up to this paragraph number 5. We have completed up to paragraph number 4. No? Read up to this. Tomorrow we will continue the lesson. Let us meet on Monday. Now, if you have any doubt, we will discuss. Otherwise, let us end the class. Any doubt, children? Okay. Yeah. So then, shall we end the class? Yes. Okay, children. Take care. Let us meet on Monday. Thank you.